Yo, what's up people? Today we are in the woods with the cold steel Warcraft Tanto medium. You can see me holding it in a saber grip here in this shot. Feels most natural in a saber grip, more natural than in a hammer grip, like most cold steels do. Fixed spine, 13 centimeters in the blade length or 5.1 inches. Reverse grip also works, although I don't really know if you would ever use it in that way. Saber grip feels the most natural. Yeah, tapered tang, beautiful. Don't see that very often from cold steel. Alright, let's look at some close-ups of this knife and I'll tell you more about the specs. 25 centimeters overall length or 9.8 inches. It has these very nice G10 sculpted handle scales and they're screwed on. It's made in Italy out of CPM 3V steel, so super tough. Not the best at corrosion resistance, but it's super dry right now, so I don't worry about that. 4.8 millimeter across the spine, tapered tang. Yeah, nicely done tapered tang there. The sheath is the standard Securix sheath. I don't really like it because it doesn't really fit the knife. It kept scratching it up, so I got myself, although it has everything that you need in a sheath, I got myself a Holstex. It's like Kydex, but a little bit different. Holstex sheath. And yeah, let's jump into some in-use shots. First we are gonna do some cutting and see how the blade actually cuts wood. It was very interesting to see if a Tanto could do well in the outdoors. It's not the most outdoorsy blade shape, right? But it did fine in the first few carving shots here. It lacked a little bit in the potential to feather stick. This knife is not ground to feather stick. It's super thick on the top. Not super thick, but 4.8 millimeters is kind of thick. And then relatively thin behind the edge, so it gets stuck a few times. But cutting normally and not carving is absolutely not a problem. Yeah, as you can see, the feather sticks gave me a little bit of trouble. But you can still go through the wood with brute force, so I did that. Alright, here's a big benefit that I found with a Tanto blade shape in the outdoors. That secondary point in the front really tries to bite into material. And that comes in very handy when chopping smaller branches, for instance. The knife only weighs 271 grams, which is 9.5 ounces. I think for the size, for the 13 centimeter blade length, the 5.1 inches, and the weight we're looking at, this knife performs very well at chopping. It's obviously not in the size range for a chopper. Usually these blades are a lot bigger, but kind of is very good at it at the same time, because the thickness of the blade carries all the way through to the tip. It has a lot of momentum in the front. And like I said, that secondary point comes in handy as well. This branch is still relatively green, but it has already snapped off at the top, so I'm not hurting the tree here. Okay, let's jump into some fun stuff, like vine chopping. That worked well. You can see how thick these vines are. This is a tough one. The outer bark protects it. And it's very difficult to cut through with one swing. But eventually we'll get through. And then the camera fell over. Alright, it's time now to bring out our saw. You know what that means, don't you? Well, I will show you in a second. I'm using the Silky Gomboy here. I have this saw for a number of years now, and I really enjoy it. Super high quality. Blades stay sharp for a really long time. I think I already have 2 of those. One has a different blade shape. You can see the thickness of the piece that I just cut. Very manageable for this knife. And with the CPM 3B I have no concerns that this will break during batoning. Yeah, this knife does very well at batoning. It really goes through there with ease. Alright, let's do one more bigger block. Yeah, so that's it. The Cold Steel Warcraft Tanto was a lot of fun to use. I do really like it, and I will look at more Tantos for the outdoors in the future. Obviously this is not the best blade shape and had some issues. Here we can see the edge retention after all these things that I've done with it. The knife is still able to rough shave hair off my arm. So yeah, decent edge retention. Yeah, Cold Steel Warcraft Tanto. This is not a full review. I might do one in the future. Yeah. Cool knife, really cool knife. I do like it. It's made in Italy. One of the best cold steel Tantos that I have used so far. Probably even the best. I don't know.